Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of the Aatif Nawaz Show. It's a show that takes us everywhere, it takes us all around the world. It makes us meet really interesting people. It makes us joke about strange things, but mostly it just brings us together, you and me, together on one screen. Are you watching? Good. You're going to enjoy yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever been to a place called Rawalpindi in Pakistan, okay, you might have heard of Raja Bazaar. Now, Raja Bazaar is a fascinating place, okay? Rawalpindi, of course, city in Pakistan, right? Now, there's a place where you can catch a wagon. Wagon. You guys know what a wagon is? You don't know what a wagon is? A wagon is basically like a minibus, right? That takes you places in Pakistan, right? Cities like Lahore, Faisalabad, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, they've all got them. Wagons, right? Occasionally, there'll be somebody dangling off the side as well, off these wagons, selling tickets. Now, I love the way they do it in the city, of course, Rawalpindi, because in Rawalpindi they're so bullish about it. There'll be a guy they'll drive straight in there with their minibus. There'll be a guy hanging up the thing on the wagon, going Raja Bazaar, 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 and he'll keep going, and he'll just start forcing people onto this van, whether they want to go or they don't. They'll force people onto this van and take them to Raja Bazaar. Nahi baji, badi achhi deal hai, badi sasti tictan, badi sasti. I don't want to go to Raja Bazaar. I don't care how cheap it is. What are you doing, man? No, get on the bus. Come on, Raja Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, Raja Bazaar, Raja Bazaar. He'll just chuck you onto the wagon and wait for you, and you're in there, you're squished in there. God knows what you came out for. Maybe you needed medicine, maybe you needed a drink, maybe you needed just to get some food or something, but all of a sudden, you're on your way to Raja Bazaar because this bullish guy hanging off the side of a wagon insists you go there. That's salesmanship, my friends. That is how you get people to Raja Bazaar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, do you drive? You drive, right? I'm guessing some of you drive. Okay, some of you do and some of you don't. When you drive, it's always very, very important to put your seatbelt on. Okay, very important to put your seatbelt on. I have this conversation frequently with my wife. Okay, we'll be in the car and she'll say to me, oh, you know, like we're driving, we're having a conversation, and I'll look over and she wouldn't have a seatbelt on, and I'll say to her, hey, put your seatbelt on, man. It's not funny. You've got to be safe. It's very important to be safe. Safety comes first. Seatbelt is a crucial thing. It can save your life, right? And she looks at me and says, seatbelts. Where I come from, we don't have any seatbelts. You're in Britain now, love. So put that belt on. We have seatbelts here. So is that cool? Good, good. Now we can go to Westfield. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's enough of me. Let's get on with today's show. We've got a fantastic show for you today, a wonderful guest, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy hearing from him as much as I enjoy talking to him. Something like that. Joining me this week, ladies and gentlemen, is an absolute treat once more for you guys. I really spoiled you guys. This week we've got Mr. Irfan Gul. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Irfan.
Thank you so much for inviting.
No, it's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to the discussion, of course, because it's rare to have an artist like yourself. I had Amina several weeks ago actually on the show, and now it's your turn. From the NCA, of course, in Lahore. Thank you so much for taking the time out to me. So tell me, what brings you to the UK at the moment?
I'm here for because I got the Charles Willis artist residence.
Wow.
Here, and it's the mutual, you know, thing between NCA and Princess School of Traditional Arts here. So every year one artist is selected to come here and study. So I'm here for one term.
Fantastic. And how long have you been an artist for, Irfan?
Actually, basically I started as textile designer because my undergrad is textile designer, and in 2005 I actually started painting, you know, professionally and exhibiting my work.
Did somebody commission you to paint the first time?
Not really. Not really. I was exhibiting, you know, in group shows in Pakistan, and then slowly it just went on, and then I had my first solo in 2010.
Wow. Yeah. Solo exhibition.
Yeah, solo
fantastic.
Exhibition.
And this was in Pakistan?
Yeah, it was in Pakistan. Karachi.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Then what's an incredible achievement? This was in Lahore or Karachi, did you say?
Karachi.
Karachi. So, and you're from Lahore originally, right?
No, I'm from Sindh.
Sindh, sorry,
I'm
of course.
Sindh.
But you're at the
but I
NCA
live in
Lahore.
Lahore.
You live in Lahore. Do you prefer living in Lahore or do you prefer living in Sindh?
Lahore is a better city.
Ah, okay. That's controversial on this show. I'm with you. I'm Lahori all the way, right? I've got that Punjabi blood flowing in me. But at the same time, you know, there's a lot of people who come on from Karachi and, you know, they can keep to
Being
their
in
opinion.
Lahore, you know, it makes me feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Lahori hospitality. And of course, we've got the best food. You know, and a lot of art and a lot of culture as well, obviously. You know, so and there's a great history and tradition coming from there. So fantastic. How did you get into? How did you make that transition from the textiles industry to being an artist?
It was always there. It was always there. Actually, you know, living in interior Sindh, it's difficult to have proper exposure to things. And I decided to choose textiles because of lots of other reasons. Because you know, people don't know actually that you can actually make art as your profession and you can earn from it. You know, people doesn't know that. And for me, it was the same thing before. But when I realized that you can actually go for your passion and you can earn as well, you can make it your bread and butter. So it was the moment when I switched to art completely.
Fantastic. And like when you did your first solo exhibition, right, in Karachi, tell me, how was that received?
It was very well received.
That's always fun, isn't it? That's always there's always a relief when it's really well received. I can only imagine. And like, what was the kind of theme that you went for in that first exhibition?
My work is mostly figurative.
Okay.
And because you know, I love figure. I love figure. And the most inspiring thing is human, you know, itself. And it talks more about me, my life, my experiences. But when I say myself or me, it includes everything.
Sure.
Actually, yeah, because I'm kind of a, you know, a representative for my surrounding. So when I say myself, it is everything.
That's really profound stuff, man. Only artists think like that deeply. That's incredible. So tell me, Irfan, what kind of inspired you in the first instance? Which other artists did you look at? Did you look at Pakistani artists, for example? Did you look at, you know, the classical artists? I mean,
there are lots of artists. There are lots of artists, but to name a few, I think my first inspiration was my teacher, RM Naeem. He's one of the, you know, very famous and most incredible artists in Pakistan, and you know, he's mashallah one kind of international figure now. And yes, I have another artist on my list, which is Ganesh Pine from India. Yeah, I love his work as well. So these two are, you know, been my inspiration.
Are they figurative as well?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, hence the leaning. I like that. Okay, fantastic. That's really interesting stuff. So, you know, when you got into the art world and you kind of explored painting and things like that, do you ever feel like you're putting, you know, yourself out there a little bit every time when you paint something and you put it there for the public to see?
It's always, you know, kind of expression, and things which you can't express in words are mostly comes into your work. When you are painting, when you are doing something which is sort of creative, so it always comes into your work.
I completely identify with that, because as a stand-up comedian, my life is always in my work. You know, sometimes too much, but what can you do, right? And how does your kind of family respond to this? Like when you're making art and it's yourself kind of exposed.
It's actually interesting. I have two kind of families. Family which is my parents, and family which is my my wife and my kids. So yeah, when I was coming to NCA in '99 and 2000, it was a long discussion with my family, my elder brother, because I did my undergrads in commerce. In commerce,
okay.
Yeah. And when I asked him that I wanted to, pursue art and go to NCA, he said, "Are you crazy?" you know.
Well, that's just the mentality, right? Because people don't know you can make a living.
Because all they think of is that you are going to be a cinema board painter in the end, and you'll suffer, and you'll you'll end up doing nothing because and that's kind of thing which holds them back. And anyway, it was a long discussion, probably an hour discussion, to to make them understand that I want to do this, and just let me try it once. And after after an hour, we ended up with a agreement that I'll try once, getting the admission, and if I get it, you just have to pay for the registration, and I'll just get into NCA, and then just don't worry about me. I'll do the rest. So with that agreement, they allowed me. Always, they were always being supportive. After all, when I got admission, but initially it was hard.
I can imagine. I mean, but it all worked out in the end, didn't it? So far, it's going really well at the moment. This is fantastic. We're in conversation at the moment with Irfan Gul. It's fascinating. We're going to talk a little bit more about the NCA, of course. And until then, we're going to show you a little bit of Irfan's work. Take a look at this. Wow, that was absolutely incredible. It's incredible to see art like that. And I'm an art lover as well, so it's great for me. I've traveled, I love going to galleries. I love it. I mean, sometimes I don't understand it as much, but I always love it.
You don't have to.
Well, hey, that's what you say, right?
All you have to do is love the work if you want to.
Oh, this is it, right? And me and my wife actually, we love going to galleries and seeing things. We went to Rome recently, and we saw, it's a magnificent art there, obviously of the Renaissance, the Italian Renaissance. So anyway, sorry, we were talking, Irfan, about your journey and how you ended up at the NCA. This is what I want to know. So the NCA, was National College of Arts in Lahore, is one of the oldest institutions. One of the oldest institutions, and it's certainly one of the most prestigious, if not the most prestigious, university in Pakistan for arts. So how did you end up there?
well, are you talking about
as a teacher?
As a teacher,
as
yeah,
a teacher.
Yeah. I graduated in 2003, and I went to work in the industry for a while. But it was too, occupying and time-consuming for me. I did it for a while, but when I got married, I had to do something else. And besides, I was doing my painting and all that, so I needed more time for my painting. So finally, fortunately that there was a vacancy. I applied, and I got into NCA.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
How does it feel, really? Does it feel like a privilege every time you're teaching there?
It is always a privilege. NCA is a community. It's everyone is artists there. Yeah. And you're among them, teaching artists. Learning from artists. It's a privilege. Yeah.
I can only imagine, and obviously you get this chance to shape the minds of the future as well, because you're working with people, or you're teaching people who will potentially go on and do great things as well. I mean, do you see that in your students sometimes?
Every time, the best thing is that when a student, crosses you in the success of life, that is the best time to see them, get successful. And that happens a lot.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and I mean, do they always show you gratitude? Do they always invite you? And
yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time?
Most of the
Every
time.
now and again they forget you off the guest list, which is a bit B for you next time. So no, that's really nice.
Yeah.
When they kind of acknowledge the efforts that you put in.
And the best thing is that it's a very good mix from all over Pakistan. It's a very good mix, and NCA is a kind of place which makes you very humble. The first thing that goes off from you is your ego. So that's the best place to be in.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned in passing earlier about the cinema board painters in Pakistan, right? And I guess they're not viewed as artists properly, or they're not viewed as people who create incredible art. But these images are really iconic that they put together. If you go through, in Pakistan, it's called the McLeod Road, right, where all the cinemas are, and they have these magnificent paintings. And we get Hollywood movie posters and all that stuff, even Bollywood movie posters nowadays. But I don't think there's anything that's quite that intricate. It doesn't have that same identity that the Pakistani posters do. I mean, there's merit. Is there art in that?
I think it's 100% art. What you actually, it's more like a political art kind of thing, which is now dominating the art scene. What you need is proper support and platform to promote yourself. If you don't have that, you're not, you will not be recognized as an artist. So. But I know a few people. The one that I was talking before, RM Naeem himself was once a cinema board painter. My teacher. And I have a very good friend, Mohammad Zishan. He was also a cinema board painter, and I know a few others as well. But they ended up being great artists. What they needed was just the right kind of direction and the proper support. But they made their own way. And it's really hard in Pakistan to be someone.
I can only imagine, and it's nice to know that people who make these incredible things on the cinema boards, which is the kind of art that I imagine more people are exposed to in Pakistan, just driving by or walking by or in a rickshaw or whatever, right? And they see this. So it's nice to know that they can go somewhere. That's fantastic. Now you mentioned a little bit about Pakistan, right? So how is Pakistani art received around the world? So in the UK, for example, are people aware of Pakistani artists? Is there an association with these people?
Not much. I would say not much, but in previous decade, 10 to 15 years, Pakistani art has been received very well in the world, and art scene has grown very much in Pakistan and in the international scene, in the international art scene. And Pakistani artists, you have to look at the people who are receiving, are coming to see the art, and it has been it has developed very much in previous decade.
The Pakistani art scene. And now you're in London at the moment, obviously working with the Princess School, which is phenomenal. How do you spend your time going to galleries in the UK? Have you been to the National, for example?
I've been to Tate Modern, I've been to National Portrait Gallery and a few other places as well. Yeah, but it is really hard because you need a lot of time to be in there. Probably for a person like me, I need at least a week to visit one gallery.
Of course, yeah. I completely sympathize. So I like to take my time and understanding things because it takes me a long time to understand them. Yeah. My wife and I were in the Sistine Chapel. After about 15 minutes, she was like, let's go do something else now. But I really enjoy the Sistine Chapel. You kind of you understand what the artist's thinking, what his motivation is, and obviously Roland Barthes, obviously the philosopher, says
even if you don't understand, you need time to appreciate what is there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So you look at colors, look at scale,
and absorb
form.
it.
Absolutely, and it is just a phenomenal form, of entertainment. It really is, and it's a lost form as well with the modern generation because like young kids these days, obviously they have so many other things at their disposal. They're so overstimulated with phones, games, video games, TV shows that it's very hard to get them out to a gallery and everything. But it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, obviously, it's great, and the great thing about London is that it's a good mix of modern and cultural thing. You have all sorts of things and what I have seen here is that everything is preserved and valued, the traditional stuff and the modern stuff, and the multiculturalism here, the welcoming attitude of the city and the people. So it's great to be here.
That's fantastic. I'm thrilled that you're enjoying yourself. It's really fun. We're having a fascinating discussion, of course, with Irfan Gul at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. But it's time to find out what you think. One more time. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think?
My favorite food? I don't know. My mom food.
Chinese rice.
Schnitzel.
Fish. Eat. Chicken.
Lamb. Kebab. Lamb kebab. That would be maybe vegan chocolate.
My favorite food is pizza with a lot of tuna.
Swordfish. Rice.
Pizza.
Lasagne.
Food. McDonald's. Hamburger.
Oh, I like pancakes.
Everything to eat. Chocolate.
Oh, you amazing people. I always love to hear what these people have to say every week. It is incredible. Right, we're in discussion here with Mr. Irfan Gul, okay? And it's a fascinating discussion about art, and I love art. I was in New York earlier this year, and I kind of snuck into an NYU lecture on art history. It was about Matisse, okay? I didn't know anything about Matisse, but I just snuck into a lecture. I thought it would be fun to do that. And it was really fun. It was really interesting, actually. I really enjoyed that. Sure. Who are your favorite artists, apart from the Pakistani artists and the people that you work with? What about kind of like old school artists? Whose paintings do you enjoy?
I told you about Ganesh Pine, and I love Rameshwar Bruta. He's also from India, and a few people like in Pakistan. I named one artist, RM Naeem.
Yes.
And yeah.
There's a strong South Asian bias going on here, right? What about like Western painters?
Yeah. Western painters.
Because people here can paint a little bit too, as well, I imagine.
Yeah. Rembrandt, I would say.
Oh
Rembrandt.
wow! Okay.
Yeah, I love him.
This is the stuff.
Yeah.
Have you been to see his work in London?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah.
Because there is some of Rembrandt's work.
But it's always, it was, there's an intense course that I'm doing right now, and taking time out and looking at the paintings, roaming around in the galleries. It's always difficult.
But it's something you want to do, I imagine, as much as you can. And what about your family? Do your family share your passion for art?
They love it.
They love it?
They love it.
Do they love your art only, or do they love art in general?
They love art in general because my wife is also a textile designer. And,
oh wow!
And she's from the same institute, so she shares all what I do. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah. And so, as a painter, right? Did you ever want to delve into other forms of art as well? Because I know that if you look at the classical Italian Renaissance artist like Michelangelo.
Yeah.
He was a sculptor, right? So he began as a sculptor until he was kind of almost forced into this world of painting. And there's so many theories about that. But have you ever tried your hand at something other than painting?
Yeah, I have been doing sculptures as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I've been doing sculptures and few textile projects as well, and old kind of traditional things, traditional art as well. So it depends, you know. It's not specifically painting that I do. It's more kind of visual art. So you get to do whatever, and I've been doing stop motions and media things as well. Yeah.
No, I've seen a lot of stop motion coming up, and especially kind of modernist art making an impression recently. So in terms of becoming an artist, right, what's the best route to take? I mean, you got into NCA obviously, right, which is a beautiful way to do it, because that's like, you know, it's essentially you've got your credibility sorted straight away. How does somebody who's fresh to art get into it?
I would say it's more with parents to do, you know. In Pakistan particularly, students who are, you know, after their intermediate and after their A-levels or what, they need proper counseling, what they want to do. And even before that, their parents, because, you know, every kid has an artist in, you know, somewhere inside. So what you need to do is just give them proper opportunity to look to find out if they want to pursue it. And if you do that, and if you support them, they'll end up, you know, finding their own way in art. And particularly when students are after their, you know, intermediates, and what they need to do is just hard work.
Of course, so it's like everything else, right? In life, hard work will get you there. That's fascinating stuff. I'm really enjoying this conversation, Irfan. I'm really enjoying hearing about your journey into art from textiles, and, you know, the commissions that you have. Tell me about your favorite commission that you've had so far.
I don't do much of commissions, but my favorite, it's not particularly a painting. It's a series.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love my Arid Dreams series.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What is the Arid Dreams series?
It's my weird thoughts.
Oh, it's just your weird thoughts. You just put that onto the canvas.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it's more like, you know, automatic kind of thing. I don't think much. What I do is there's a surface in front of me, and I just start doing whatever I would
whatever
like
comes to mind.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it comes out.
Oh, brilliant. Well, this is fascinating, Irfan. As I say, I'm really enjoying this conversation. What I really want to do is find out a little bit more stuff about you personally, which is why it's time for the Dangerous Sheep round, which we also sometimes called 10 Things We Don't Know About You. Okay, Irfan, you ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, this is the fabulous sheep round. You ready for this?
I'm scared.
Okay, that's good. You should be scared. It's scary. Okay, I'm gonna throw you the sheep. You're gonna catch it. You're gonna answer my question. We go from there. Okay. Ready?
Okay. Ready.
Here we go. Okay. Where would you go for a dream holiday?
Oh, England.
England. Okay. Well, you're here. You're living a dream. Your favorite place to go shopping?
No.
No, not a shopper. Okay, fair enough. Do you prefer people with long hair or people with short hair?
No hair.
No hair. All right, fantastic. That's always a good option. What's your favorite thing in the world to eat?
Vegetables.
Vegetables. Okay, good. Fair enough. Your favorite sport?
Cricket.
Cricket. Okay, that's a popular one. We like it here. Your favorite movie?
Dil Chahta Hai.
Dil Chahta Hai. That's a good film. It go well, wasn't it? Okay. Favorite song?
Not yet.
Not yet. No favorite songs. Okay. All right. Do you prefer traveling by plane or traveling by train?
Both.
Both. Okay. Fair enough. And are you a PC person or a Mac person?
Mac.
Mac all the way. It's a popular thing with artists, isn't it? Okay. Your favorite cartoon?
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry is the winner, and there we go. That's 10 things we didn't know about you. You've nailed it. You've nailed it.
Thank you.
Back with you guys in a second. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another exhilarating round done. We're nearly at the end of another one of these episodes. Irfan, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much. No, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show and to talk art with you. Right, it's been magnificent. So tell me, Irfan, when can we next see your work in action?
There's my solo exhibition in September 2014 in Karachi, Koel Gallery.
The Koel Gallery, okay.
I'm working for it, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Does it have a title yet?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. I'll think.
Okay,
Yeah.
but eventually, but September 2014
September.
in Karachi. I'm going to have to go all the way to Karachi, but we'll see if we can make this happen. It'll be a pleasure to be there. Irfan, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Aatif Nawaz Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back another time, another place, with more for you. Until then, Allah Hafiz.